Starting on from the basic aerodynamics theory of previous lesson, we will now continue with the subsonic airflow and cover the principal definitions and terminology concerning aerofoils and airflow around them, and how the changes in airflow affect the resultant forces. The aerofoil can be defined as a shape capable of producing lift with relatively high efficiency. As airflow over an airfoil at sufficient speed, it will have certain effects on static pressure surrounding the aerofoil as propounded by the principle of continuity and Bernoulli's theorem. In the last lesson, even before the airflow reaches the aerofoil, the pressure drop over the upper surface will cause the flow to rise towards it. This is known as upwash at a point on the lower side of the leading edge. The airflow will be brought to halt at a point called stagnation point, where the airflow separates to pass over and under the wing. As the airflow backs over the airfoil, it will tend to slow down in accordance with the basic principles flowing against the adverse pressure gradient. As the high pressure air below the airfoil tries to go from high to low pressure, that is, from forward from the trailing edge to the lower pressure area on the top, the pressure distribution is shown here with the highest pressure concentrated around the stagnation point and lower pressure extending up and forward to the peak above the airfoil with a pressure differential creating the lift force indicated, and also shown in the force the drag which acts. Having introduced the basic characteristics of airflow over an airfoil, we shall now look at the terminologies and definitions associated with the airfoils. The chord line is a straight line joining the center of curvature of leading edge and trailing edge of an airfoil. The chord is the distance between the leading edge and the trailing edges measured along the chord line. The minimum of incidence is the angle between the wing root chord line and the longitudinal axis of aircraft. This fixed for wing but may be variable for tail plane. The mean camber line, also known as a mean line or a camber line, is the joining the leading edge and the trailing edges, that is equal distance from the upper and lower surfaces. The maximum camber is the greatest distance of the mean camber line from the chord line, and it is expressed as the percentage of chord and its location along the chord line as a percentage of chord from the leading edge. When the camber line is above the chord line, the airfoil is said to have a positive camber, and when it is below, it is called a negative camber. A symmetric airfoil has no camber as chord and camber line are coincident. Thickness chord ratio is maximum as the thickness or a depth of an airfoil section expressed as a percentage of the chord from the leading edge. The thickness distribution of the airflow seen have the significant effects on its airflow characteristics. The leading edge radius is the radius of the curvature of the leading edge, which is significantly affect the initial airflow characteristic of the airfoil. Basically, the smaller the radius, the sharper the leading edge will be. The relative airflow or a relative wind or a free stream flow is the direction of the airflow produced by the movement of aircraft through the air and has three characteristics. First, its direction is opposite and parallel to the flight path, which is in direction taken by the center of gravity of the aircraft. Secondly, its condition is that it is the air close to but unaffected by the presence of aircraft, that is, its temperature, pressure and velocity will not change when the aircraft passes through it. Thirdly, the relative airflow's magnitude is the speed of the aircraft through the air, that is the true air speed. If the airflow does not possess all these three characteristics, it is referred to as an effective airflow. It is the resultant of all the forces acting on an airfoil section, namely lift, drag, center of pressure Cp is the point on the chord line through which the lift is considered to act. Lift is the aerodynamic force generated by the airfoil which acts 90 degrees to the relative wind. When we are considering the airflow velocity, it makes no difference to the pressure pattern created by the flow over an airfoil. If the aircraft is moving through the air or air is moving over the aircraft, it is the relative velocity which is most important factor. For example, an air flying at the level of 18 knots will produce about the same lift as it would stationary on the ground. Facing into an 80 knots wind depending on the angle of attack to promote full understanding, we will now refer to both the situation either where the air flows over the wind tunnel or the aircraft moving through the stationary air. And drag, thrust, weight definitions are given in previous lessons and we know them very perfectly now. We will now consider a two-dimensional airflow assuming a wing with the same airfoil section along its entire span with no span-wise pressure differential or flow. This concept is used to illustrate the basic principles of the generation of aerodynamic force. As the air flows towards the airfoil, it will be turned upwards towards the low pressure over the upper surface. This is termed upwash after passing over the airfoil. The flow returns to its original flow level and state this is the downwash. On the screen, you can see the airfoil at represented angle of attack subjected to the given dynamic pressure or IAS, that is indicated airspeed. The pressure distribution showing that if the static pressure on one side of the body is reduced more than on the other side, the pressure differential will exist. If the angle of attack the same is maintained and the IAS is maintained and thus the dynamic pressure is increased, the pressure differential will also increase. The pressure differential acting on the surface area will produce an upward acting force. So, if the dynamic pressure increases, the upward force also increases. At a constant dynamic pressure increasing the angle of attack or alpha, we will also increase the differential pressure distribution, but will also alter the distribution pattern the airfoil profile presented to the airfoil. So, the airflow will determine the distribution of velocity change and hence the pressure pattern over the surface. This pattern is determined by the airfoil's geometry, that is the thickness and its distribution which are fixed, the camber and its distribution which are assumed to be fixed for now, and by the alpha which is variable. The greatest positive pressure occurs at the stagnation point where the relative flow velocity is 0. This point is somewhere near the leading edge. As the alpha increases from -4 degree of angle of attack, it moves from the upper surface around the leading edge to the lower surface. At the stagnation point, the airflow divides.